You're listening to Turi Writer's She Said What podcast. I'm Turi, along with Marcy Persky. In this installment, if you have a romantic partner, good for you. And then there are the rest of us. Also, if you are around young people and they whine and complain, you have what the pros like to call a teachable moment.
I just got a text.
Uh-oh.
This is going to make you so jelly.
Yeah.
It says, I hope you're having a beautiful day. I love you.
Can I just say that my
You're gonna
husband
puke.
once sort of sent me a text like that, and it was so out of character that I thought it must be a hacking message, and I deleted it immediately.
It was a prince in Nigeria.
I thought only a Nigerian prince would send me a romantic text message, and I immediately deleted it. Yeah.
Well, and besides having incredible blue eyes, which we all know my husband is very romantic.
Yeah, that's better than the blue eyes. I mean, truthfully, when the fact that he's cute, that's nice, but yeah.
Cute is good, but yes, he's a very nice person.
Nice is important, writes you romantic texts, is willing to have you adopt as many animals as you want, including goats.
Oh, no, he's put his foot down on that.
Drives truckloads full of water for you just so you can live where there are no allergens.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thousands of gallons.
Doesn't even mind that you haven't sent me that
I'm
Halloween decoration tarantula to climb up and down my window and scare things away that you promised me 2 years ago. Doesn't get on your case about that.
You'll get it. And by the way, I got your tape measure, and what I've decided to do with it,
Yes.
I'm taking it on our vacation to Belize, and I'm going to take pictures measuring everything. And when we get back, I'm going to fill our Instagram with, like, how long the bed was, how big the hammock is, how big was this the jellyfish that climbed up and bit me in the head.
It's supposed to be a romantic vacation, so please do not measure everything.
Oh. Yeah, I won't.
Oh, good.
But
Good.
There'll be some measuring going on.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Now I have a tape measure.
Well, yeah, the tape measure posed its own problem. I hate the post office, and every time I send something, I hate the post office more. It's a racket now. The only organization that can use the U.S. mail successfully. Well, there are two. There are political advertisements. Those seem to come right when they're supposed to and land in your mailbox.
Windows by Anderson.
Yes, advertisements, political and otherwise. That's right. And then the other thing that seems to do nicely in the mail is eBay. But everything else, it's just, you might as well just take whatever you're trying to send and throw it out of a fast-moving train, because you told me it was supposed to be so simple. It was supposed to be so easy. You said that you needed a tape measure, and I said I had some spare ones floating around. So I put one in a padded envelope, and I went online and I looked to see how fat this envelope could be to still be considered an envelope. And I researched how much it had to weigh, and I weighed it, and I put in all the right amount of stamps, and then I put it in the mail, a month and a half ago?
Yeah, it was a while ago.
It was. And then we waited, and it never showed up. And I said, well, you know what's going to happen. They're going to decide that the package is damaged, and it's going to end up right back here with me, and I'll have wasted all those stamps. But no, it was worse. It showed up.
In our little post office where it'd probably been sitting for a month, I finally got a slip that there was a package. And it was like inches big. It's not like a big box or anything big. But it was postage due.
It was postage due 5 times the price of the tape measure, which I think was free, actually.
She said, the lady at the post office said, do you want to pay for this? And I said, sure, why not? So
oh my God.
I paid my $3.
Why didn't she just give it to you? What's wrong with her? Why didn't she say, this is ridiculous, I'm just giving it to you?
Because she works for the post office.
See, another reason I hate the post office.
You hate all the post office except Molly Hooper.
Right.
Who's listening to us.
Right.
As she delivers mail.
She's the exception. She's kind of the angel wings on the ferry back of the post office. It's like, what are those monsters where the monster is a horrible, awful monster, but it has really pretty shimmery wings? That's
Mm-hmm.
Molly. She's the shimmery wings
Aw,
on the
yes.
gargoyle that sucks your blood and takes the air out of your lungs and never delivers your tape measure that is the post office.
So I have one more thing.
Yes.
Now that I've told you that I have to pack for the fifth time
Fourth.
and
I
that I
thought you were
bought the
just up to
washer
the fourth time.
before,
Yep.
however, I lose track. I
Oh.
don't,
Are you
I'm
still
old.
committed to your idea that you're going to go on vacation and only wear dresses so that every animal in the jungle can look up your skirt?
I have a pair of shorts.
One pair.
Yeah. I might change. You know I'm going to change it before that.
You are not going on
But
vacation and wearing nothing but dresses. This
I have,
will
I
not
have,
happen.
I have another confession to make.
Uh-oh.
I told you my packing confession.
Yes.
I told you about my washer and dryer. So guess what I got in the mail today? I
Another
got,
tape measure?
no, you have to guess first.
Oh, I'm guessing another tape
No,
measure?
no, it's a Coca-Cola slushy maker. And you put the Coke, you put some ice in it, and it makes like a Slurpee. But then you've read the instructions, and you can't put alcohol in it, and you can't put diet in it. So now I don't even want it anymore because I wanted to make frozen pina coladas.
Those
That's
aren't
the whole point.
those aren't made with Coca-Cola though.
Well, it says Coca-Cola on it, and unless it's got a tracker somewhere, they don't know what wanted to make in it.
Right. So what do you care? So make the pina coladas and see if it works. And if it doesn't work, send it back and say it was
Well,
defective.
bartender child is the reason. My my bartender child says that alcohol itself does not freeze.
Yeah.
Hence why you can put a bottle of tequila in the freezer and it doesn't freeze.
Well, yes, but so you're supposed to make the slushy thing with the margarita mix or the coconut, whatever, the pineapple slushy, and then you pour in the thing.
I guess. She bought a bunch of Kool-Aid.
The Jello shot Kool-Aid thing again.
Yeah. We're gonna put that in the frosty thing or the Slurpee thing and see what happens.
And let me guess, they were advertising this on late night television?
Yeah, it's a really good deal. I got it on sale for only $49.99.
It sounds like
Delivered.
delivered is a good point.
And it's huge, and I have nowhere to put it.
That's the other thing. You got it delivered for practically free, and I had to pay enough money to buy my own copy of War and Peace just to get a tape measure delivered. It's just there's just no so but the
Life
fact
isn't fair.
it's not fair. I have to get out my little cutie's song. I told you we found his song that he wrote.
No.
Oh, so I'm purging. I'm purging the file drawers of things like all the progress reports of the big and small cutie in grade school.
Mm-hmm.
And the small cutie, this has not changed. Big complainer, big whiner complainer sometimes, big ranter. And I started singing at him. It's just not fair. It's just not fair. It's just not fair. I just don't care. I don't know why. It became a whole thing in the car. And so he started, and I had all the things that he said were not fair in the last 20 minutes. And then I typed them up and I handed them out to the kids like song sheets. You know how they do in kindergarten? Everybody gets a song sheet with the words to,
Yep.
Miss Molly had a baby, or, the songs, right? A little itsy bitsy spider. And so we had the small cuties, It's Just Not Fair song. It made such an impression that I called up the big cutie and I told him.
You started singing to him?
I told him that I was going through and purging the files and that I'd found the small cutie song. And now it's been 20 years, and without missing a beat, he said, "You mean it's just not fair?"
Wow, you have a studio there. Maybe you should do a little bit of recording and start sending that out.
The It's Just Not Fair song?
Yeah, it could be like a whole Disney movie.
I think
It's Not Fair.
I think every mother has familiarized herself and every father has familiarized himself with the It's Just Not Fair song in some form or another within 7 years of having their child. It's kind of like can I eat this question? Did your kids ask the can I eat this question?
No, they just ate it. They never asked. And they're all alive to talk about it.
Well, that's just not fair. That's just not fair.
I know that is. Hey.
Well,
even the Olympics aren't fair.
Yeah, none of it is fair. And this is a good lesson. This is what I said to the kids. Like, this was my mantra. That's not fair. And I'd say, well, I'm sorry. I've told you not to cross the street on a red light. Don't go up to dogs you don't know. And life is not fair. I think with this knowledge, you're equipped.
I mean, I told you all the crazy things I did when I was little. Like, I stuck my tongue on a flagpole during the winter.
Everybody in the Midwest does that once.
And then I sucked a cup so hard onto my face that I had a big circle around my mouth like a clown for like 2 weeks.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Michigan. That's right.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. I figured, that's why my kids had to learn some of these things themselves.
That's right, including that life is just not fair. So
no, it's not fair.
You didn't tell them it wasn't fair. You made them find it out for themselves.
No. Oh. Are you kidding? I think they all had a pretty good idea just from watching and paying attention that life's not fair.
I guess your kids are just smarter than my kids, because I had to inform my kids repeatedly that life was just not fair. And I forget how this story even just came up, but the fact that I don't remember stuff, it's just life, which is not fair. I might have had a perfectly useful thing to tell you, and now I don't know what it was. So, but I hope very much that your Slurpee machine gives you some pleasure, because you're sort of in a drink rut over there with your Jell-O shots, and I applaud
Jell-O shots, water, and pina coladas.
Yeah, I applaud your effort to get a different kind of beverage. And
if there's juice in all of those.
Right, that's the unifying. Jell-O doesn't really count as juice, but it's got a faux fruit. I can't say this. A faux fruit flavor. We should just give up. Who really needs a podcast where the host can properly pronounce faux fruit flavor? Nobody. Nobody needs it.
Well, I'm going to probably electrocute myself any minute now because I'm so sweaty.
Okay.
That with close to machinery.
Please don't electrocute yourself. That's another thing nobody needs from a podcast. The sound of the host electrocuting herself.
No.
Might be big if we had video on it, but just for audio, no. Thanks for listening to the Turi Writers She Said What podcast. Since you've made it to the end, you might want to know that my book, She Said What? A Life on the Air, is not only available in print, but now also in complete audiobook form, narrated by me and available on Audible.